Welcome, wrestling fans. My name is Donnie Bambino, and to my right,
Nathaniel Cunningham. And this is Chasing the Dream Indie Wrestling Podcast.
yes, it is.
Now, our guest tonight, he's a promising young star. He was trained by Malcolm King, owner of Seven Mountains Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
He is a two-time New Era Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champion,
Two-time.
a two-time 3WA Tag Team Champion,
That's two times on the two times.
a 3WA High Impact Champion,
Way high impact.
and one half of the Heartbreakers. He is the MILF magnet, Kai Thomas.
What?
Wow. What an intro.
You also forgot to mention the Royal Rumble winner, Resolution.
No.
Rumble.
We're not coming on here and doing that.
And your 2026 3WA Resolution Royal Rumble winner, Kai Thomas.
Yeah, but don't forget, he took your belt because of that.
That's fine. I'm retired.
We're known as what? Oh my! I think I called it like the bad heartbreak or something like that. Something really catchy for Donnie and I.
Well, let's talk about a little bit before we get into your introduction of how you started wrestling. Let's talk about the current injury you have right now. What happened?
So I have a injury to my left foot and ankle. I got it last weekend. It's a fracture on like the top of my foot and then a sprain coming from my ankle down to my pinky toe.
Ouch. That sounds like it hurts.
Yeah, I'm in a lot of pain for like the past like 4 days.
Listen. Hold on, wait. I wanna tell you this, okay? So for all you people who don't know, a lot of professional wrestlers are friends outside of this. Well, what time was it? Maybe about like 9:00 at night. I get this message. It's from my supposed new tag team partner, and he goes, "Hey buddy, just want to let you know I got hurt," and then sent me a picture of his ankle, him in the hospital with his ankle all taped.
Looks like you're not going to have a tag team partner now.
I was so mad to receive that message, but the first thing I thought was like, okay, are you all right? How are you feeling after that?
I'm in a lot of pain, but like it's pretty cool to look at because I have two ankles on one foot.
Jesus.
So
Now, I think you debuted in what, 2024?
yeah, mid
2024.
August.
So, how was getting into pro wrestling for you? What was chasing the dream before you started, like for Kai Thomas?
So I actually hated wrestling for like the longest time. I went when I was a younger kid because, you know, my dad and all. But then I like fell out of it for like a long time. And before I had my son, I was going to go to the Air Force. And I messaged Jamal, Malcolm King, and Rob Noxious. And I was like, I want like one match, just one match with my dad. Because I watched my dad do it for 18 years of my life. I was 17 at the time, so 17 years. I was like, I just want that one match. I wrestled, and then ever since then, I just can't stop.
I remember the first match I met him at, and it was at 3WA. I think you were facing the Speed Bump Roadblock, and you were just the new kid in the locker room. And I sat there, and I was like, oh, good luck to the kid. And then he just started talking, and I was like, he's a dick. I was like, all right, he's standoffish, cool. And then I took a couple shows, and I was like, this kid's gonna be like, I want to work him. Like, I'm excited to. He moves good in the ring.
Oh yeah. So like when we first met you, it was kind of one of those things where it was like very standoff, but it's because all three of us are so very similar on like how we approach wrestling, and also just us personally. You know what I mean?
I have very, very bad anxiety. And so meeting new people petrifies me. And so if I don't have to talk, I'll try not to talk. And if I do have to talk, I'll make it short and simple and I guess come off as aggressive because I just get intimidated. It's terrible, but I've grown.
I also have a problem with that, with anxiety. You know that. We all know that. We've all been working together. Now, we've worked many times together on tag matches, singles matches. What was your favorite match that we have ever done and why?
It has to be that dog collar match or the Stuntcat and Friends match. So the dog collar match, it was unforgettable. That freaking bump off the top rope onto the.
Oh, you could curse.
Perfect. That fucking bump off the top rope hurt so bad, and I will never forget that. And Donnie goose egged me once, so that was pretty rough.
Where'd I goose egg you?
I forget what happened. Oh my God, with the chair, bruh. I watched it. The bottom of it clipped me right in the head, And
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
I just had a black and blue mark right here. Or that Stun Cat and Friends match, because it just went so smoothly. Like,
It did.
you had a double shot that day, and we're like, oh hell, we'll call something super simple and quick. And we called it super simple, but we just expanded it and, just did what we usually do.
Now, where did you come up with the name the MILF Magnet Kai Thomas? Because you are a pretty looking guy, and a lot of fans think so. So did that kind of start the MILF Magnet for you, or something else?
So honestly, I don't remember exactly where I got the MILF magnet from, but my fiance had a shirt that says "I love DILFs," and I was like, "Oh, what if I was just like I love MILFs?" And then I was like, "Well, I have a kid, I have a fiance. What if I just pull the magnet? I'm like, I love hot mom. I want MILFs everywhere." So that's pretty much where it came up with.
Very basic.
Very.
No, that's funny. That's funny because I also own one of those sweatshirts that says "I heart hot moms."
I think I wore it for the Rumble actually.
Now, for whoever doesn't know who Kai Thomas is, because there might be a lot of people out there, but if you're in the NEPA area, I'm sure you know who Kai Thomas is. But if they don't, what is one of your matches that you would say defines Kai Thomas in just a maybe 10, 15-minute match, and why?
It would have to be either the Tyler Ski match in 3WA or that Doors match for New Era. And the Tyler Ski was because of, the resilience that I had in that match. And it was hard hitting, extremely hard hitting. And I just like that type of style. And then with the that tables match, that was just, it brought out a different side of me that I have, but I don't really get to show off because typically I'm just doing normal tag matches or singles matches. And it just really, there's
Now,
something.
I know I'm an outsider to this kind of like feeling. You have somebody that's also in wrestling, that's family wise. Your dad's part of wrestling. How does it feel to know that you're kind of chasing the dream alongside your dad?
It feels great, but also I'm trying to like make my own name because he's wrestled for like NWA and CZW and like all that. So he's up there and up in age. Like he's old. We can't forget that.
Decrepit old.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
I love my dad, but there's no dream he's chasing anymore. He's just doing it for fun. But like it's good because he gives me like good guidance, and he's the meanest critiquer I have. We'll go and we have hour-long rides, and he'll just talk so much shit on me. He'll be like, that could be better. That was nice. You got to use that more.
That's good. That's good.
I love it because it's making me better, and that's gonna get me where I want to be.
Now, where do you want to be? Like, what's the end goal of chasing the dream for Kai Thomas?
Man, I just want to be signed. I love my job. I don't want to work like a normal job. Wrestling weekly would be great.
It's a good thing to shoot for. Growing up, did you ever think you were going to become a professional wrestler?
No, not at all. I always actually thought I was going to be an NFL player, but it didn't really click till like my senior year that I'm just not there. I had like a D2 scholarship. D2 really wasn't going to get me anywhere.
I mean, you would have to work extremely hard at that point. But
Yeah.
when you got into wrestling, like you kind of took over the independent scene kind of by storm in our area. How did that feel at first with all the vets per se, quote unquote, eyes on you, just waiting in line to kind of work you next?
So the first time I ever wrestled for your area, it was in that tag team tournament versus the Shadow and the Light for the crowning of the tag titles. And I felt like I was getting like so many odd looks because I was skinny, like I was probably like 160, and I just didn't really think anything of it. But then like as I progressively started working there more and more and more and hearing that people wanted to work me, I was like grateful because it like showed that I was like finally putting in like hard work, and all the time and dedication I put into it is showing off, and other people want to wrestle me and see what I have.
So
I was gonna say, is my partner over here gonna talk or just fucking head nod the whole time?
it's so
Yeah.
listen, shut up. It's so weird to have like because I'm more of a conversation guy. Like I just like having conversations with people, and it's like it's weird to kind of have set questions that I have to ask you because I feel like you get better answers and you get better communication when you just have a conversation, right?
I agree.
So let's talk about the future for you. Okay, what's the future looking like? I know right now we have our storyline at 3WA. You have a storyline going in through New Era. Like, tell us some details on some things you're excited about.
So there's another promotion I've been working recently, and it's called HWF. And I have a really big storyline coming up in the next 4 to 5 months with build up that I'm extremely excited for. We haven't really done anything yet because that's not happening till the show where it's officially starting. So plans could change, but it will lead me up into higher match cards and stuff like that.
Now, you talked about higher math cards, but I did forget you worked the same name that we have. You tagged against Nunzio. How was that match, and how was it meeting him for the first time?
Oh God, I can't believe you guys are gonna make me tell this story. So
Oh, we love the story.
overall, it was great. Like Nunzio was really cool. Great match. He was like the hardest, softest hitter I've ever been in the ring with. He would tap me and I'd be like, whoa. But then I'm watching the playback and he's boom, and I'm like, oh. But after the match, we're talking, and all of a sudden he drops everything, and I'm like, whoa, okay. He goes to shake my hand, like I was like, oh, thank you for the match, and he puts his hand super close to his junk, and I typically look down to shake hands, but I looked right up in the sky and I went and walked away.
See, most guys, I mean, it's an old school mentality where it's like you go into a changing room to change. Like they don't care. They do not care.
Completely
So
hard.
it's completely different for like our generation where we're like, okay, I kind of don't want to be seen naked right now.
Yeah.
Now, let's back it up a little bit. So, you trained under Malcolm King. He owned Seven Mountains Wrestling. What was training like for you? Because it is different for every professional wrestler that wants to get into this business. Ours were different from yours. So, how different was your training from maybe most?
So I don't know if this is like a common thing, but Jamal and J-Cat, biggest thing was conditioning. And I thought I was well conditioned because of football, because I was a running back. I was not. We conditioned for like 3 days straight, and I probably puked like 15 times. And I don't know why, but I just kept on coming back. And then he had you run the ropes so you got it properly, and you was not stopping until you learned how to run them ropes properly. Like, you're not even taking a bump yet. And then you're not allowed to move on till you get it like perfect or like to a better standard than what you were originally at. And so I bumped for like probably like 2 days straight, just like all types of bumps. And then I finally got to lock up. And so he was very adamant on perfection.
It's a good standard to have. It's a
Oh,
very good standard to have in our business.
I said, now I can bump greatly thanks to that. Like,
Do you have any dream opponents that you would like to get into the ring with? It doesn't matter if it's local or if it's like a dream opponent.
I really want to wrestle Dio Bando, Lobo, definitely Lobo. I've never got to wrestle the dude. I want to wrestle the dude so bad. I think we would have a great match.
That's surprising.
Very.
He's wrestled.
I feel like everybody's wrestled the dude.
Only thing I've ever done with him was in the Rumble, and that
Wow.
was putting him over the top rope.
Now,
Nothing
the
else.
dude is a good opponent to have. But in the start of every match, watch how he throws his punches because he will tag you about 3 to 4 times until he loosens up.
That's just knowing him so well. So like us and the dude, we all trained at the same training center, and then specifically me and the dude, we started together. So like we graduated at the same time. So like you kind of learn people the more you wrestle them, and yeah, the dude is a little stiff in the beginning.
Now, what shocked me too when I first got in the ring with Kai, you weren't stiff at all. You were actually very loose.
People
So how did you learn?
stiff all the time, and I'm like, no, I am not.
No, you were light.
They watch it, and then when they wrestle me, they're like, oh, you're not stiff at all. But like watching me, it just looks super stiff.
It's the art form.
Yeah, that's the exact art form of professional wrestling. making it look like it's vicious.
Now, how did you adapt your style into what you do now? Like, where did the style come from?
Definitely where I was trained because Rob Noxious and Jamal are very hard hitting people. Jamal will smack you and then blame it on you. But yeah, and then how I learned how to be like that is he would have me throw punches and forearms and all that at the ring post. And if I hit them hard enough, or if I hit the pole, he would know to be like, "Hey, you gotta bring it up a certain point," or something like that. And so that's how I learned how to be super look stiff and stuff like that.
We actually had to go punch the pole as well. And if you danged it a little too hard, he'd be like, nope, too stiff. Do it again.
Yeah, he'll make you do like push-ups or like sit-ups if you hit it too hard.
But yeah, I had the hardest like time in the beginning when I would have to punch the pole because I came from a boxing background, so my knuckles would be all busted.
So I've been going to this one place to train for a little bit. It's Mifflin County Academy or something similar to that. And this one guy, his name's Kyle. He came from a kickboxing background. And I was like, oh, we have the same name. I want to work with this guy. The first kick he threw took my life. It was the stiffest thing I've ever felt. He hit, I went,
Who has been the stiffest person you've been in the ring with?
probably Jamal. I love him, but he's a big man.
Oh yeah, I'll still never forget me and Nathaniel had to wrestle your dad and Jamal in a match. That was definitely a night.
I think wasn't that at like Norristown?
Yeah, that was Norristown. That was fun. So
Fun for him, not for me.
no, it wasn't even fun for me. Don't do that. But no, it's very funny to look back at because what happened was a spot went wrong and my partner got a concussion. But the entire time this is happening, I took the finish. And sometimes when I take bumps, my jaw dislocates. So when I took the finish, my jaw dislocated. And now everybody's focused on Robbie because they believe he has a concussion. So we're stumbling to the back. I carry him to the back, and everybody is just surrounding Robbie. They're like checking on him, making sure he's okay. And I'm literally sitting in the back with a rope trying to reset my jaw as the doctor's taking care of him.
That's absolutely wild. And I actually take back my answer. It's Big Smoke. He
Oh
clipped
my God.
times in that Rumble.
Yeah, that Rumble was definitely fun.
It definitely was.
There was a lot of potatoes going around that Rumble,
Yes.
and there was a lot more receipts going around that Rumble, if you get what I mean.
I seen you roll out when it was like the final four, and you went over to the Paul, and I was, what is he doing? And so I look at everyone, I'm like, stay back, wait till he gets in.
Now, we found 3WA to be kind of our home away from home, especially after our training center and our school and our promotion closed. So how was walking into 3WA for you? Since your dad has been wrestling for a long time, you're trying to make a name for yourself, and now you're being looked at like, oh, this is just Tyler Sims' kid. Like, how did the first day at 3WA feel for you, or any show that you went with, just with your dad, to try to get a spot on the show?
So I knew 3WA since I was like a baby, because I knew like some of the wrestlers like Wolfman and Paul and a few others. So they were comfortable to me. But walking into the locker room was completely different. I was so nervous. I was freaking out. And then whenever Paul was like, yeah, you have a match, I was like, what? And then they were like, against Slayer. And I was like, even. And I was like, oh no.
Slayer, George, he's a great dude. He did wrestle back in the day, so his mentality's kind of different. But shout out to George, I guess.
But I loved how we called things in the back. We went out there and we did absolutely zero of it.
That's the old school mentality.
All I did was throw a kick there and chokes the rest of the time. I was loving it. Yeah.
Tell us, if you had a contract right now, who would you hope the company it was from?
TNA.
That's your shot.
I want to TNA so bad.
Why?
TNA is great. I love watching TNA.
You chose TNA. Who on that roster would you pair up with very well that you think you could get over against, and why?
I'm thinking it would be like Trey Miguel. I love Trey Miguel. I think he was the best rascal out of them all.
That's a good answer.
That's a really good answer.
Now,
Mhm.
tuning back to fans may not know you at all as a person. You do have a son, just like I do, and just like Joey has a daughter. How hard is it to travel every weekend chasing the dream while you have a main priority at home or either with you?
It's at the beginning it was really rough because he was baby. He did not like long car rides, so that was very hard to do. So for like the 3 months, he would not go, and I would be like worried sick.
Oh yeah, I get that.
We once his daughter was born, that's when we had to go win the 3WA tag straps, and that was a night because
Oh yeah.
my wife had my son, his wife had their daughter, and at least they were together. But for you, you only have per se your wife and your baby. So
Yeah.
I can only imagine how it felt not being at home with them. But how supportive was she with you wrestling on the weekends?
So we got together in high school, and I was still only strictly football, gonna go to the Air Force. We had that all set. And then when I had my first match, she was like, okay. And then when I told her I wanted to do it every weekend, she loved the idea. But she got like really excited. I don't know why she was so excited.
Of course, she loved the idea. You're not going into the military. You're getting to stay with her.
But now she's learned like a lot. And so she's been very supportive. She'll give me massages and I'll be like,
I don't get that.
Oh, I love it. Sometimes when I see your wife, your girlfriend, your fiance. So every time I see your fiance in cheetah print, I know she's cheering me on and not you.
her favorite was for the longest time.
Who?
The dude.
The dude's everybody's favorite wrestler.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
It was literally the longest time. We went to the first show and she was like, I love the dude. He's my favorite. And now that he wrestles with New Era, she got a picture with him and all. And I was like, where's my picture?
The dude for president. Easy.
The
Oh,
dude's
I'm-
more over than anybody.
He
Now,
and wins everyone over.
oh yeah.
I wish I could do that. I walk out and I get like booed for no reason, even if I was a babyface.
It's good though. It's a good thing.
You guys were the only company that like no one knew me up there, and so I got to go out there, and little kids cheered me, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm the greatest." I do that anywhere else, and little kids are giving me like F-bombs, throwing me fingers, and I was like, "That's so uncalled for."
I think people forget that we are independent wrestlers, but we're also people at the end of the day. Like some of these fans are just nuts.
Yeah.
Now, going and talking about the fans a little bit, like describing Kai Thomas to someone, which you already did. But what is one subtle thing that you put into like every match that people may not notice?
I do this stupid little tongue thing. I'll go ah, and I'll do it to the fans just to like make them have a reaction. And sometimes they'll do it back to me. Oh, I'm getting recorded.
Oh, we're not editing this either. You just got bitch slapped.
I did. My boss. But I do that little tongue thing. You guys seen it. I'll do it to you guys sometimes when we're wrestling. I'll just go, ah. It's just for reaction.
Where did that come from?
Absolutely no clue. I did it accidentally during a match, and then ever since then, it's just been my thing.
I mean, if it works, keep it.
Yeah, and little kids would do it back to me sometimes, and I'm like, see, this is why I'm a fan favorite. Regardless of heel or face, I'm still getting a reaction.
It's a good way to look at it. Kai Thomas, what's in the future?
You already asked that.
What-
Dumb fuck.
Have I?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's in the
We should keep this all in. Keep this all in. Keep it all in. Kai, what is one storyline you're excited for in this coming year?
definitely where the storyline between you and I.
Oh my God, Mark.
All right, you don't have to do that because I'm interviewing you.
Oh, I don't care if you're in here or not.
But give a little teaser on what our storyline is.
We're teammates who don't like each other. That's like the best way.
That's it. Now,
For a professional wrestler, you suck at explaining.
I'm taking over Nathaniel's spot because I see a title that's vacant and I want it. So obviously, I'm gonna choose the title that I don't gotta work for.
But I wish
See, that was a little bit of a better.
Yeah.
now, I don't know how many podcasts you've done. I don't know if this is your third, fourth, fifth, 100th, whatever the case may be.
Like my
But-
third.
It's your third. Okay. So Ricky didn't have a lot either. He literally just maybe had a couple, like he just said last week as well. But what is one thing that you always wanted a podcast to ask you, and why?
Man,
I know we're always stumping people on this.
that's a good one. How different, like me outside of wrestling, like as Kyle, than me as Kai Thomas. Like, what's the difference between that? That's a good one.
Okay. Now, what is the difference between Kyle and Kai Thomas in and out of wrestling?
I like the way you stole my idea. But
That's kind of the bit.
I know I'm kind of figuring that. But I have very bad like anxiety when it comes to meeting like new people. But as Kai Thomas, I can go out there and put on a complete show. Like I'm the most like flamboyant. You don't know if I'm gay, straight, anything like that. But if you're looking at Kyle, I have a whole family. I keep to myself. Like I have a very small, like actual close circle of like friends. Like I have a best friend, and then I have the people I work with, and then I have like some wrestling friends, like friends, you guys. But as Kai Thomas, I'm friends with everybody. I don't care who it is. You could be third row, and we're best friends. And it's just stuff like that. And I don't wear a lot of pink. I'm only wearing this because it says Heartbreakers. Guess that's another key idea.
Now, whose idea was it to start the Heartbreakers? Was it yours or your dad's?
Definitely mine because I got tired of wrestling my dad. And so the best way to put it, I was like, hey, you don't have a tag team partner. You're old. I'm young. And I'm done wrestling you. I don't want to wrestle you anymore. What if we just become a team? And then he liked the idea. So we talked to Paul, and then Paul was like, give us the okay. And so we did that. And then we've just been doing it everywhere.
It's a good thing. Like keeping on your dad. Your dad was one of the first wrestlers that I met in the business. And he's very kind, very, very nice. What's like one moment you really remember from your dad's wrestling career?
Probably when he wrestled Carlito. That was a pretty big deal. Or whenever he got busted open at 3WA and he needed staples and there was just blood all over the canvas, like, you know, Mike Mars. Well, he got Charlie Brown. There was so much blood. He went to go kick my dad and he just slid right across the ring.
Oh my God.
Oh,
That was traumatizing. There was blood splatter on the roof.
oh.
Yeah. My dad, it was in the Coventry Mall, and my dad was walking to the restroom to, you know, clean himself up, and there was just a blood trail. You could if you were like blind and you needed your nose to find my dad, you could find him.
That's like kind of awesome though. Yeah. Like
Oh.
bleeding, I guess people would remember that forever, right?
Oh yeah. I would definitely remember that.
I'll have to show you the picture. It was probably from here to here, and it was a stapled shut.
Jeff, if you're watching this, according to your son, you're old, you're decrepit, you should probably hang up the boot soon. But
Don't do that. Don't do that to Top Shelf. Or I also call him Bottom Shelf All Star.
why is that?
I don't know. It was a name that I heard. It was like a band name. I don't know. But because he refers to himself as Top Shelf, Tyler Sims, every time I see him now, I call him Bottom Shelf.
Bottom shelf. Bottom shelf with MILF Mag. Here we go.
Got the name of the Heartbreakers because my dad used to be called the Heartbreaker, Tyler Sims, whenever he was younger, and I liked it.
Again.
I wasn't going to use it, so we just named it our tag team.
Again, you have to emphasize when he was younger. God, Jeff, he's saying you're old as hell. Now, this business is not nice. It's a tough business, and it's mentally draining, and a lot of miles in your car and a lot of money that you had to put into it to be an independent pro wrestler. What keeps you going every weekend?
Definitely the friendships I've made, because I don't get to see you guys every day. I don't get to see people from 3WA or New Era, and I made a lot of close connections, and seeing them and just talking, not even talking about wrestling, just talking as normal human beings. It's great because on the weekdays, I'm a dad. I have a full-time job. I got to worry about other things. But on the weekends, I don't got to worry about any of that. All I got to worry about is how good my match is.
That's a really good answer. But coming off of your question, the wrestling business is it's very rough in a lot of like certain places. What's one thing, if you could change anything in professional wrestling, what's one thing you would change?
Egos. I think some people's egos are just through the roof. And like, I probably have like an ego, but I'm more of like I'm more worried about how good my match is. There are some people who are so much like worried about titles or stuff like that. I could care less about any of that stuff. And a lot of people worry about that type of stuff. Like, you should worry about the storylines and what are you doing. That's all you need to worry about.
See, the way we were trained, not everyone is trained this way, but titles mean nothing. They are just a prop to enhance your character. But if your character is nothing without a title, then your character and yourself, you're nothing. Which it's good that you learn that at a very young age in the business.
So yeah, I'm not even 21 yet. Hopefully soon.
You're
Soon.
not 21?
No,
How old are you?
I'm 20.
I thought for sure you were at least 20, like 2.
No, we still got 5 months to my birthday.
That's insane.
Yeah, it is.
Now I'm old.
I wrestled 2 months after I turned 18.
Okay.
That
I
was
got like, go ahead.
that was my very first match. Was 2 months into turning 18. So every weekend since, I've been doing it.
That's insane.
Now, we have never asked you this question, but I was always skeptical of what it was like for you. So what was your debut like? Like, how was it preparing for the debut after all of these months of training?
So the good thing is that my first opponent was my dad, and he got to come to training with me, and we worked through everything. We called everything, and having that type of guidance was great, but nothing will prepare you for getting changed and just waiting. And that was probably the most unexpected thing I ever felt. And then as soon as I hopped out the curtain, I about puked. I was so nervous. I was like, I'm gonna get everyone hyped. I'm gonna clap hands, all that. I did not do a single thing. I walked straight to the ring, and then as soon as I got in, I was like, "What am I doing?" And then, yeah, it was brutal.
I remember those first time jitters.
Yeah, I never want to go through that again. I get nervous, but as soon as I get to walk out, I'm Kai Thomas. But there was no like going to a character. It was simply just Kyle going out there and trying to play a character.
For all that you've accomplished in your career, is there anything you look back on and you kind of regret?
Yeah, my second match.
Oh, please don't.
That was No, actually, I don't regret any. I don't really regret much, in all honesty. I think I'm at a happy place with what I've done so far, and obviously, I'm going to do more. But I'm content with everything I've done because everything I have done has led me to this moment.
That's good. It's a good outside. But following up on that question, is there anything you want to achieve before you call it quits, before you hang it up? And now you have a lot of time before you hang it up. I mean, you are only what, 20?
Yeah.
So you still have a long, lengthy career. Is there anything you truly want to obtain?
I just want to be financially well with wrestling. Like, that is what I want to do. Like, I don't need to be a main eventer of WrestleMania or anything like that. I just want to achieve a nice income that I don't got to worry.
Which makes sense.
Good.
Now, touching on your internet presence, correct? You have a, what is it called? A unique internet presence within wrestling, especially with what you post and how you post it and when you post it. But at fans, there's fans at shows, obviously, but there's one specific fan that you go back and forth with, which is Mike Bucciaroni. Fill us in on a little bit of how that relationship started and why.
Second time we're giving him a shout out.
I know.
how it started was completely random. It was at a random 3WA show. He was shocked that my dad had a kid and now that he's a wrestler. And he was just talking about me. And then he posted like something about my first match with 3WA. And I just shared it. I didn't really know what I was like, oh, being nice, thank you, share. And then it just aggressively extended to me turning on my dad and him turning on me. And now we just bicker. That's exactly how it started.
He's one of those fans that writes great storyline just from sitting on the sidelines. He's just an amazing guy.
Oh yeah, he comes up with better ideas than most people do. You know,
But it was honestly just completely random. And like I'm grateful for that because it got me more eyes.
Yeah, he's sitting under here twitching his leg like, God, what am I gonna ask next?
I don't know. All of my questions have been about your future in professional wrestling.
So before we wrap up the podcast, because my partner's out of questions, this is why I write them down and he yells at me. But you know what?
I'm a
Last week
conversationalist.
we came more prepared.
I'm a conversationalist.
It's so much better, Kai. I'm so sorry. He's just on a funk tonight. But before we wrap up this podcast, episode number 3, where can fans find you that may want to follow your journey of chasing the dream?
You can follow me on Facebook at Kai Thomas. Follow the TikTok because I post great content on there. Like, great stuff. That is either at Kyle_Grant35 or at Kai Thomas. I'm not sure, but pick your poison with typing either or in.
Well, we'll figure it out and we'll put it down in the description.
Perfect. But yeah, that's pretty much where I post.
And before we wrap up, just hang out backstage and then we'll obviously talk to you before we go. But Kai, thank you for coming on today. It was a pleasure to have you for episode 3.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun.
A lot of cutting, but it's phenomenal.
Now, there's a lot of cutting on this episode. There's a lot of edits, which is great. But if you have not followed Chasing the Dream, the Indie Pro Wrestling Podcast, you can follow us on Spotify, YouTube every Thursday night at 5 p.m. and Apple Podcast as well. And you can tune in for our premiere episode of New Era Pro Wrestling Student Superstar Spotlight with Sylvie Jade for episode number 1 on Tuesday at 5 o'clock.
That's the first episode.
First episode.
First episode. You guys will get to meet my wife.
Thank you guys for all tuning in and have a good night.